Implications of the president's behavior here. Like, I find myself kind of reading White House statements, reading quotes from the president, hoping that they're true, that he was somehow inexplicably out of the loop or didn't understand it or it was somebody else's fault. I mean, I don't know how to put in context the idea that the president would know about an adversary paying money for the scalps of American troops in theater and decide that it was okay with him, that there was no reason for any American rebuke and that adversary should be rewarded. I just don't. I don't know if you can help, but I don't.
It's incomprehensible. I don't know how it's incomprehensible.
It's very hard to digest. Either President Trump acted in a fashion that is profoundly disloyal to the United States of America and our men and women in uniform, or he has abdicated his responsibility as commander-in-chief and is presiding over the most dysfunctional and ineffective national security apparatus in American history that leaves American troops vulnerable to Russian attack. Because any way you slice it, the message that Putin has had to receive from all of this is that he can go after Americans in Afghanistan or anywhere else on the planet with utter impunity. So this is, Rachel, one of those jaw-dropping moments, as many as we've had in the course of this administration, that calls into question not just the competence, but the loyalty of this president.
I have one last question for you that I know you're not going to answer.
I want to weigh in on what we just said. In which I realize the times has changed to a little or to a certain degree, pertaining to how we used to run our affairs whenever we first become a nation versus the way that we are today. But if these occurrences would have taken place during the episode before World War II, anything from World War II back, it would have been looked upon as high treason, and not only would they have asked the president to resign, but he would have probably received severe punishment and penalty from the Congress and the United States government on the level of being a treason or a traitor to his own people. In other words, him and his whole family would have to pack up and move to another island somewhere, and the vast majority of all their assets would be inhaled or swallowed up by the United States government. If this was from World War II back, and if you go back from World War I back, it would have probably resulted in a death sentence. And I'm not talking about metaphorically. I'm talking about they would have probably taken somebody like this out against the fence, in which, thank God, we're not living under those same type of rules and regulations today. But they would have probably taken him out against the fence, and they would have ordered some sort of military type setting, as far as, well, I ain't gonna say it because it's too raw and it's too unprofessional just to come right out and just say what I'm trying to say, but it wouldn't have been good. It would not have been good. If we find out that these accusations and these allegations are true, that the United States president knew about President Putin and stood idle, it wouldn't have been good. Good luck to all of us. Father, eternal God, I don't know what's going on with the White House. I don't know what's going on with higher ranking officials. I just know this, that something don't smell good in Denmark. I pray, God, for your divine leadership, and that you, O Lord, will take control of this chaos, of this mess, and that you, O God, will guide us and direct us out of this deep, dark storm into a passage of light and peace and prosperity. We want to thank you and praise you, because it's only in you that we trust. In your Holy Son's name. and amen and amen. So sad.
Name has been talked about as a serious contender for the running mate spot, vice presidential spot on the ticket with Joe Biden. Are you in talks with the Biden campaign, and would you tell me if you were?
Rachel, you're right. I'm not going to go there precisely. Here's what I'll say. To the extent that it is reported that I am under consideration in a serious way for